Hi, this is Kyle from Green Hat Local SEO, and in this video, we're going to go over a plumbing site and how they can improve their SEO to not just rank higher in the organic rankings, but also in Google Maps, because right now they ain't getting shit. So before we do that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Put a like on the video, give me a comment, let me know what you like, or if there's any other questions that you'd want me to answer on any future videos. So we are going to be looking at trueplumbingut.com today. So this is a plumber and HVAC service over in West Jordan, Utah. And you can see right here, they're really not getting much traffic at all. In fact, it looks like they might even be dropping to near zero right now. They really can't get any sort of traction. It looked like last year they started getting some, and then just kind of leveled out here, and now it looks like they might be dropping a whole bunch. It looks like they're dropping on every single update now. See a huge spike and then drops. The spike comes right on the heels of a major website redesign, it looks like. So probably what happened is Google was A/B testing this higher, reprocessing the site, saw that the site was still shit, dropped back down, and now it's getting hit with every single algorithm update according to Ahrefs. And when we go and look at the GeoGrid, it's not really looking much better. So this is for HVAC company near me because they do HVAC stuff. Boom, nothing. This is for air conditioning repair. Boom, nothing. This is for plumber near me, which is literally what they are. Look at that. Holy shit, finally on the board. It looks like maybe they're ranking number 4 right at their location, which then drops off to 9, 12, and then fucking nowhere, right? Emergency plumber looks a little bit better, so they probably put a little more time and effort behind this. Looks like they're ranking number 3 right where they are, and then 4, and then 9, and then fucking nothing. And on and on and on. Look at that. So really, what's going on here is their SEO is just awful, right? So they're not showing Google that they're relevant for anything. They're not showing Google that they're authoritative for anything. Nothing like that. So let's go over what they're doing right now and what can be improved, because I mean, honestly, there's nowhere to go but up from here. So first thing I always do is I look at the site. So right away, I noticed that the homepage is Certified Master Plumber in West Jordan, Utah. Now, this really wouldn't be an issue if all they wanted to target was West Jordan. So your homepage should always be branded. Don't make your homepage a keyword, and then it's going to make it impossible to expand your website to other cities later. So if your homepage is for West Jordan, Utah, you're basically limited now to just West Jordan, Utah. If you want to rank in other cities, you would probably have to use a subdomain, but they didn't do that here because they don't know what they're doing. So homepage should always be branded. This lets you expand into other cities a lot easier, right? So plumber in West Jordan, Utah, that's cool. Homepage is targeting plumber in West Jordan, Utah. Plumbing services in West Jordan, Utah. And really, if this is the first place somebody is going to, what if they're not in West Jordan? What if they're in Spanish Fork or something, right? All they're going to see here is West Jordan, Utah. Then subconsciously, even if they don't consciously believe it, subconsciously they're going to think, oh, they don't specifically solve my problem and my pain point. They only serve West Jordan, right? So right away, you're already kind of on your heels when it comes to customers trying to fall out of your funnel because you're not targeting their specific pain points. Homepage should always be branded. So this homepage is all about plumbing services in West Jordan. Doesn't really talk about true plumbing at all. So here's what they do. Here's what they specialize in. Cool. You have all these internal linking. That's awesome. But then, okay, so it's all about plumbing and stuff. We don't really get down to heating and AC until way down here, when really their GBP talks about heating and air, but it looks like the heating and air part is kind of a afterthought. Which, if I'm looking for somebody to come fix my HVAC system, come fix my AC, and all I see is plumbing on here, I'm going to think that they can't actually help me, right? So when you look at it this way, for all these reasons, this is why the page really isn't converting very well. So we got the whole page about plumbing instead of it being branded, which is a big no-no. So then let's assume that their interior pages are all about the different cities that they serve. and the different plumbing services in West Jordan, Utah. Now, what have I been saying? Just like in the last video I did, you cannot have two pages on the site targeting the same keyword. This is called keyword cannibalization. If you have two pages on the same site targeting the same keyword, Google gets confused. A confused Google is not a happy Google, and if Google is not happy with your site, Google is not going to rank you. And that is exactly what we're seeing right here, right? Not only are they not ranking organically, they're not ranking in maps because the site is shit. Obviously nobody was actually planning anything out, right? They just had a monkey throwing darts at a dartboard, like, okay, we'll do this keyword, and we'll do this keyword, and we'll do this city homepage. Well, the homepage is going to be targeting this keyword, right? And you can't do that. This is exactly how some businesses fail, because they cannot get customers cheap enough. You can't pay for ads, but think about what your cost per acquisition is going to be. Then it's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5 times higher even than just getting your clients organically, right? So doing something like this can really hamstring a business. It can really do some damage to sub businesses too. So okay, I mean, I can already tell none of this really has been written with any sort of on-page SEO tool. And if you are just writing content, if you're just copying and pasting ChatGPT bullshit, which was obviously what was done here, it's not going to help users, it's not going to help Google, and then your page and your site as a whole is not going to rank for anything. Because remember, I'm sure you've heard of the helpful content update. Well, all those signals that rolled out during that are all baked into the core algorithm now, right? So it's not like the helpful content update is gone. You can just smash a whole bunch of ChatGPT on here and then churn and burn until the next HCU, until the next helpful content update. No, all of those are baked into the core algorithm now and are running constantly. So you cannot have low quality content on your site anymore. Once Google classifies you as low quality, as unhelpful, it's going to be really hard to get out of that pit, right? So you can see exactly how short this is. So if you're not writing content with an on-page SEO tool, you really aren't going to have a chance to rank except for, low competition keywords. So I didn't take this page. Actually, what I took was the Salt Lake City page here, right? And then I ran this through Page Optimizer Pro. Now, there are a lot of on-page SEO tools out there. Page Optimizer Pro is one of my favorites. The one we actually use the most is a software called Quora, but Quora doesn't have all these fancy pants charts and graphs that a lot of you people need to understand SEO. It's all just numbers on an Excel sheet, so I decided to use this instead just to make it easier for all you guys to understand. So you can see right here for the Plumber Salt Lake City keyword for this page, Page Optimizer Pro said this is about 29% optimized, right? Look at this. Current word count is 329. Target is 1865. So word count is not a ranking factor in and of itself. What you are trying to do is you're trying to give Google enough information to understand the page, and you're trying to write enough content that a user will want to convert as well. If you were Google and you were looking at this page about Plumber in Salt Lake City, which is not a low competition keyword, it's like a mid competition keyword. 329 words is really not going to give you enough information about the page itself to know what it's trying to rank for. Obviously, they didn't put a whole lot of effort behind this, right? And if you were a user and you saw a page that was 329 words only, right? Whereas everybody else is writing like 1,500 words talking about what they're doing, who they help, what pain points they solve. Are you going to convert here? Fuck no. So word count in and of itself is not a ranking factor, but clarity is clarity is a conversion factor for users. And short content does not give Google enough information to understand your page, right? And if Google doesn't understand your page, that's fine. But if an entire website has low quality content like this, then Google's not going to understand your entire website. It's going to consider your website low quality, unhelpful, and then you do shit like you can't even rank in your own fucking backyard, right? Well, that's what's happening here on this site. It's full of low quality content that they didn't use in on-page SEO software to help guide their SEO, and because of that, it can't rank anywhere. So if you want to write good on-page or good content with the on-page SEO best practices at the very least being done, then you need to do your content with something like Page Optimizer Pro or Quora. You can raw dog it and just hope for the best. That'll work for some low competition keywords in low competition areas, but for something like plumber near me in an area like this, or plumber in Salt Lake City, it's really not going to cut it, and Google's going to fucking hate your site. So obviously there's been no effort being put towards on-page SEO here. Even just running it through Page Optimizer Pro, they could have seen that they're missing a bunch of keywords in their title, H1, and the body content. You can see here that Google is expecting around 143 at the low end, 143 keywords on the content. This site has about half of that. So, or I'm sorry, this page has about half of that. So it really has no chance to rank. And one thing that you don't want to do on your sites, especially now with the helpful content signals being baked into the core algorithm, is put pages on your site that are just there to exist. Each page on your site needs to have a purpose. If the purpose is just for like middle funnel or value-added content, then no, index that page. But if you put a page on there, Google's assuming that you want it to rank, and Google's assuming that you're targeting a specific keyword. And if it determines that you're not, or it can't tell what keyword you're targeting or you're trying to rank for, and your entire site is like this, then your entire site is going to get demoted. It's going to get dropped. Same thing with the GBP, because Google pulls so much information from the GBP itself that if your GBP sucks, you've got no branding, no backlinks like this site, then you're not going to rank for anything, and especially not for any high value keywords, because you cannot provide helpful content that's going to help users, it's going to help Google understand the page or the site. And in the case of backlinks, if nobody else is like vouching for you, then why would Google, right? Which, as an aside, is one of the main reasons I see programmatic SEO sites dropping, is because they don't focus on backlinking. But I digress. We're talking about the shit show that is trueplumbingut.com. So now, what if they put everything in schema? I mean, schema is really powerful. Again, you can what you should be doing is mirroring the content that is on the page and then expanding on it. You can rank pages organically without content if all the content is in schema, right? I've seen it before. I've seen it with my own two eyes. So let's see what kind of schema they've done. So I chose the plumbing page, plumbing services in West Jordan. So what would I expect here? I'd expect web page schema. I would expect local business schema. I would expect service schema, maybe person schema, maybe FAQ schema. Do they have FAQs? No, they don't. So, okay, so no FAQ schema would be in here. But what did I find? Fucking nothing. It looks like they just took whatever was in Yoast, said that's good enough. Client's never going to see this. Why spend any time actually trying to rank it, and called it a day. So what we see here is web page schema, which is usually fine, right? Again, this is just whatever Yoast bullshit that they were using. No attempt at actually writing schema themselves. So they have web page, which is part of website. Okay, cool. Publisher organization, which is a plumber with this phone number, area served. So area served, this is one of the places where Google looks for keywords in the schema. It's looking to see, okay, well, what cities specifically are you serving? If you're only serving Salt Lake County, Utah County, West Jordan, Utah, well, this is one of the reasons why they're ranking West Jordan and nowhere else, right? But Salt Lake County, Utah County, these are, I mean, what if you're only targeting unincorporated places in Salt Lake County, places that are county administered, right? Well, that's kind of what it looks like here. So there's no local business schema talking about the brand or the business, what they know about. Let's see, where is the same as? So they don't even tie together their citations in the same as or anything. Breadcrumb, cool, but what about services? What services are being talked about on this page? Fucking nothing is in here. So not only is the page thin content, but none of that is being reflected in the schema as well. And this is one of the first things that Google reads. Think that it's in the header of the page. Google is going to read things in the head before it reads things in the body, right? Or I'm sorry, in the body content, right? So not expanding your content here is, again, another missed opportunity, because this is one place that Google looks at when trying to understand the page. And if it's not in here, then Google can't understand that. Google doesn't have the information. If it doesn't have the information, it's not going to rank the page. It's not going to rank the GBP, nothing like that. So right away, like, their on-page is terrible. Google does not understand the on-page. Maybe it's looking to schema to kind of disambiguate some things. None of that's being disambiguated in the schema. So Google now has no idea what this page is about, probably has no idea what the site is about, which is why it's really not fucking ranking for anything aside from its own branded terms. Not even ranking on the first page for Plumber West Jordan, it looks like, but super low competition keywords. Look at this. Keyword difficulty of 0. Fucking great, guys. Look at that. Your SEO company got you sewer line repair in West Jordan that has 10 searches per month and has a keyword difficulty of 0. Bang up job. I hope you aren't paying these guys much. So the other place that Google's going to look at is backlinks. What kind of backlinks does this site have? And with backlinks, with local SEO, you can compete on, well, really with anything, you compete on 3 different things. You compete on how strong are your backlinks, how many backlinks do you have, and are they contextually relevant, right? With local SEO, you don't need to be buying, $500 guest posts, right? Because I've heard time and time again to where somebody says, I bought this guest post for $500 and nothing happened. Well, yeah, nothing happened because you have 1 backlink and your competitors have 500. You have to match the quantity as well as the quality for your backlink profile. And none of that really is being done here at all. All I'm seeing here is really citations, which isn't bad. I mean, citations aren't nearly as strong as they used to be, especially not if they don't have tier 2 links or tier linking behind them. But really, all I'm seeing here is citations, right? I did see one, maybe a couple of these comment links right here, right? So, I mean, comment links are a legitimate strategy, but just doing 1 or 2 here and there, doing the stupid fucking Fiverr gig, I'll manually put comments for you on Weebly blogs, it doesn't do shit, right? So right away, I can tell that there hasn't been any sort of effort or budget being put towards backlinks on here either. It's all just citations. I think it's all just citations. Yeah, it's all just citations. Maybe a couple. Yeah, it looks like there's a press release done last year. With these, you never want to do exact match query anchor text. Your tier 1 links, especially if they're going to be on press releases, should always be branded. Everybody knows that if you hammer the exact match query as your anchor text, you're going to have a bad time. So really what you should be doing, and what Google wants to see, is building a brand. One of the ways that you do that is associating your branding with your website, which is why you use branded anchor text, which again is not being used here. Who the fuck is Alice Carroll? Why is Alice Carroll being associated with trueplumbingut.com? Doesn't make any goddamn sense, right? So for all these reasons, this website really is not ranking. Their backlink profile is non-existent. It's all citations with maybe a couple comment links and a press release done last year. Press release really hammered it. I can already tell. Usually with these you get like 400, 500 different outlets. It hammered it with that exact match anchor text, which is death, especially when you have a poor backlink profile like this already. The on-page SEO, again, is also non-existent. They obviously didn't write it with any sort of on-page SEO tool, which means they weren't getting the keywords that they needed. And you can see how here, everything is Plumber in West Jordan, Utah, Plumber in West Jordan, Utah, Plumber in West Jordan, Utah. So they absolutely overused Plumber in West Jordan, Utah on the homepage. And when you do that, and then you create another interior page targeting the same keyword, Google's not going to understand what any of this shit is, right? So the on-page SEO was not planned out very well. It's obviously not done at all. What I think is pretty funny too is you have your air conditioning page, which is again, let me see, Plumber in West Jordan, Plumber in West Jordan, Utah. So right here, you have air conditioning, True Plumbing. That's cool. But again, air conditioning services in West Jordan, Utah, right? So if you want to get clients for your air conditioning repair or whatever in Salt Lake City, well, you're fuck out of luck, right? Because your only page on your air conditioning is about West Jordan, Utah. Your top level pages, again, unless you want to only rank in your one city that you're in, your top level pages should be generic. It should only talk about the service you provide, not the city that you specifically provide it in, right? So right now you're limiting yourself to West Jordan, Utah by doing this. So this page should literally just be about air conditioning repair or air conditioning services, something like that. But again, 300 words maybe. So again, this is thin, low quality content that Google is not, Google doesn't like it, Google doesn't understand it, and if it gets confused, again, it's not going to rank it, which is why this page is not ranking, which is why the GBP is not ranking for air conditioning repair. On top of that, so you have your air conditioning repair page, why is this linking over to plumbing installation, right? How is air conditioning repair related to plumbing installation? Whenever you interlink pages, you're not just doing it for users, but you're showing Google how these pages are related. So how is air conditioning repair related to plumbing installation? What do these two pages have in common? Not a whole lot, right? But you're trying to tell Google that these pages are pretty closely related, and Google noticed they're not. So now Google's like, well, what the fuck do you mean? Obviously you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I can't put you as a search result because you don't know what you're talking about, which means you probably give shitty service. So I'm just going to artificially demote you in Google Maps and the search results, right? And that's exactly what's happening right here. They're not ranking for anything, and for all these reasons. I mean, and again, the backlink profile, when I say, it's really thin, you can say, oh, well, what if nobody else has backlinks in their area? Well, I took a look at some of their competitors. So True Plumbing has 58 referring domains. This is actually what you want to look at. Don't look at total backlinks. You want to look at referring domains, right? And how many of those were citations that we saw? Well, they're getting beat here by Valley Plumbing, which has 216 separate referring domains. Roto-Rooter, which 4,300, of course, you're going to have a whole bunch. And Beehive Plumbing, which is 794 domains. You can see these guys just keep growing and growing and growing. So in a vacuum, yes, having only 58 referring domains is not bad. But when you compare that to your competitors, like this is who they need to compete against. They're competing against their competitors who have, what was this, 200 and something, 216 referring domains to 794. So they need to get literally hundreds and hundreds more referring domains to be on par with their competition. If they're not doing that, then again, they're shit out of luck. Their current SEO company is not really doing much for them at all. I hope they're not paying them much. And it's all these reasons why they can't rank, and this is an SEO audit fail. So that's about it for this video. So just to recap, if you're a plumber and you're looking at all of this, make sure that you're writing your pages with intent. Make sure that you're writing with these pages with the intention to rank on search results, which means you have to provide good in-depth content. Write it with some sort of non-page SEO tool like Page Optimizer Pro or Quora. Make sure Google can understand it. Make sure users can understand it. Make sure you're getting backlinks, not just bullshit citations, but you can even use something like CloudStack's SEO Neo. It really doesn't matter much for local SEO, right? And then make sure that your interlinking is on point. You're not linking from a plumbing installation page to an air conditioning page when they're not related at all. And make sure that you have your website planned out, because you don't want to box yourself into a corner by having your homepage be ranking for your city, which means then that you can't expand out the rest of your website to more cities. So that's about it for this video. My name is Kyle Sabrat. If you want free SEO, then get in contact with us. We offer free until you rank SEO programs for home services businesses. And again, it's free until we actually get you ranking in the map pack. So if that sounds great, go ahead and contact us, and I'll talk to you later.